There were two types of meditation that we discussed. There were two types of meditation that we discussed. One was guided meditation, and one could be self meditation, where it could take approximately 30 minutes to connect to your spirit guide, or any boundless wisdom and infinite intelligence, uh, beyond our physical self, at the higher self level. So that was one part of the spiritual communication. But according to me, uh, we cannot forget that yes, there is something spiritual communication, but more importantly, we are human beings, and we are having a life. We have flesh, we have a body, and we live on this earth. And a lot of our communication has to do with human beings, animals, environment, nature, all around us. And much of our the way we talk, the way we behave, the way we analyze things, the way we provide logic to situations often takes us to different moods. And though in the language of psychology, mood swing is a different has a different connotation, but in reality, all of us go through mood swings, and depending on situations, depending on how people behave with us, our moods change. And As I discussed in one of my earlier session on map of consciousness, it's very easy to slide down the negative emotion levels, the levels of falsehood, and very, very difficult, or maybe equally difficult, to stay at a higher level of truth with the positive emotions. So we always need to make that effort of moving to that level and so on. So I also took a session on spiritual transformation, where I mentioned, if you see, there are some 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 traits, 9 points, subjects that we discussed on that day, on having the right expectations for spiritual transformation. Intention should be right. What is my intention? Is my intention to be spiritual? Is it to earn money like Babaji's and all of that, or it is to serve mankind, or it is self growth? That intention has to be very clear. Often, when the intention is not clear, or there are malefied intentions, the growth also gets stalled after a point in time. You won't grow beyond that. And nature or divine creates situations where your spiritual growth doesn't take place, and you enter into that whirlpool of the very much lower level emotions and all of that. Humility, faith, happiness, unconditional love, unconditional forgiveness, unconditional service, and detachment. These are all very important elements, even for communication, spiritual communication as a human being. Much of our behavior, much of our communication depends on the core values that we have acquired from our, say, family, immediate, maybe our parents, our near grandparents, and so on. So much of our who we are, who I am, depends on my core values. The core values which I imbibed from my immediate environment when I immediately after I took birth, the initial few years, maybe up to the age of 10 or so on. Then, of course, we are exposed to the larger environment, where we are exposed to friends, larger family, communities, school, teachers, and so on. So that keeps on changing our core values, or maybe modify or acquire more of our attributes or behavior. So the core behavior starts developing after that. So once the core behavior develops after that, which is of course not a static concept, it's a dynamic concept. It keeps on changing as we meet more people, as we learn more from the environment on a day-to-day basis. Then we develop something called a modified behavior. Modified behavior is not exactly our own behavior, not our core values, But whatever we have learned from the environment and the way we have tried to change a bit here and there and create something maybe maybe new to the core values. And of course that becomes our environment, and the way we talk, the way we behave, the way people define our attitude, and the way people define our approach to life, not how we define our approach to life, how others define our approach to life. So this is what communication is all about. And I personally believe a very, very important part of who we are as a spiritual being depends a lot, depends a lot. And I'm really stressing on this, on how we communicate with the world around us as a human being. So deep inside your, worship room, how you behave, how you talk to God is totally different. Just one second. Sorry. It depends a lot on how we develop as a spiritual being. So the way we develop as a spiritual being is not about the communication with the higher self alone, but also how we behave with the environment around us, with human beings around us. So if we think that, oh, communication with God and divine is independent and totally isolated, it's in airtight compartment as compared to how we behave with the rest of the world in the physical domain, we are wrong. It depends a lot on how we behave in our real world day-to-day basis. Now, what forms our personality? That is something very, very important. Uh, it's about, a combination of things. Like for example, right now I'm interacting with you, and what you're doing is you are just hearing what I'm saying. Believe me, when you hear somebody whatever the person is saying, only 20% of what you hear actually help you to form or change your overall personality, or imbibe things, absorb things the way you want. Whatever you hear um, gets filtered by the brain. And once it gets filtered, only a portion of it is retained. The rest is gone. It just vanishes. It's not there. So what you hear only makes sense 20%. That's why today, before starting the session, I was talking to Ria, and I was telling Ria, you know what? We have these sessions every day. And when we have these sessions every day somebody or the other, or all highly knowledgeable, highly spiritual beings, they come on the platform and they discuss few things. Now, tell me one thing. What is the uh, actual takeaway for of individuals who come on this platform and just hear this 45 minutes of discussion? What is the retention power? Frankly speaking, neither Ria nor I had any answer to it.
Me, sir, you are on mute.
Yeah, no, I was not on mute. Suddenly the connection went away and it was re-established.
Yes, sir, yes.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, sorry. Yeah. So what I was saying is only 20% of it, what we hear, actually we take it deep inside. The rest is lost. There's a loss of we call it loss of information of close to 80%. Similarly, as we move down the right hand panel, you see the best way of retaining what we want to imbibe in ourselves is by doing it, is by doing it. And last but not the least, 100% of it can be imbibed if we start being it. I remember a long time back, there was a movie. The name of the movie was, I think, Nadia Ke Paar or something like that. And Nasiruddin Shah was the prime actor in that movie. I think it was Shabana Azmi and Nasiruddin Shah in the movie. And after the movie, the director was Amitav Ghosh, and he's also from Calcutta. And I knew him to a certain extent in some, I mean, through some relatives and so on. So there was a interview going on, and Nasiruddin Shah was asked that how did you get so involved in that character, and you could behave like a, I mean, real Maji, or a in the and you actually, the movie showed the amount of hardship and all of that, that a person can go through. How did you really do it? Because it's not you. I mean, how did you? So then he said that, if you really want to be an excellent actor, then you have to forget that you're acting. You have to start behaving. So I just tried to behave, not act. I dissolved my personality with the personality of the character. So that was so profound. And of course, this was way back, I think 30 years back or even more. Some of the oldies like me, if you remember this movie, maybe you will be able to recollect uh, the the kind of scenes that I was talking about. I'm talking about. So it is about being, and being cannot happen unless you are in that character, unless you really practice all of that. So whatever we plan to do, unless we start doing it, unless we do it regularly, so continuous doing leads to being. Knowing has to be put into doing, and doing, continuous doing for a very long time, creates a habit in ourselves, and that habit becomes our personality, and that is how we start being that personality. So can personality be changed? Yes, of course it can be changed. Lot of traits that you had in your initial days of life, initial years of life, can be changed, and you can become a different human being, either from the positive side or the negative side also. Sometimes you never know. So knowing, doing, and being are three very important pillars that form your personality. And as I told, it is not a static concept, it is a dynamic concept. It can change over a period of time also. So this is very interesting. I was reading a book, and the name of the book is, some of you might have read the book also. If you want, I have a soft copy of the book. I can share with you the book. And I was very touched reading the book. And I thought that this is something that I can discuss with all of you. The name of the book is Surrounded by Idiots. I was attracted to the book because who on earth will have such a negative title of a book that he or she wants to sell? So my intuition told me that don't go by the cover. The book will be able to give you more insight, and it is different than what the cover says. The cover is just to attract the reader. I thought, okay, good. So let me turn the pages. I was in a airport, um, so I'm not in India. So I had some time. I was turning the pages, and I found really interesting. I bought the book. I started reading the book. Very interesting. So the whole concept is, uh, this author, he is talking to somebody who is an entrepreneur and quite, you know, he's quite doing well with his business and all of that. So while talking, he was trying to understand from the entrepreneur what is his business about, how are his people, how he communicates, how his people contribute to the business, and so on. And this entrepreneur started saying that, you know what,
मैं
I,
कर देती हूँ मम्मी नहीं
hello,
ये वो
please mute yourself. Thank you. So the entrepreneur said that, you know what, I really need to change my employees. So then this author who was interviewing him said, "What's wrong?" So you know what? I'm surrounded by idiots. These people don't understand my language, and they are just not able to fulfill my dreams the way I think. They are unable to think that way, and I say something, they understand something else, and I'm nowhere. So the interviewer and the author of the book, um, he very humbly made a statement there stating, so who recruited them? The question was very direct, and this particular entrepreneur got extremely annoyed, and he literally threw him out of his office. So this is something very interesting because it is actually he who recruited all his people, and now he's cursing them, saying that they are a bunch of idiots. This happens with all of us, and we actually are so engrossed in ourselves that we often forget that there are different kinds of human beings, there are different kinds of people, and not each and every person thinks the way you think. So as you see, there are four boxes here: the blue box, red box, green box, and the yellow box. So these are four kinds of people. Now, if you look at the upper part of the four quadrants, the upper part is of two colors, the blue and the red, and that talks about task orientation and issue oriented people. So people who are uh, right on the job, they want to get their work done within a particular time frame and all of that. They are mostly analytical and dominant in character. So they don't care about relationships. They don't care much about how to make others happy and all of that. But if you talk about the red, they are leaders, dominant leaders. They want to exercise absolute control. They don't care about relationships. They only believe in action, action, action. And the lower portion, what you see, the green and the yellow boxes, these people are mostly the calm people. They are stable. They are supporting. They are kind, and they are not so interested in deadlines and getting work done, and always on a rush and all that. They are not that kind of people. They are fairly often impulsive. They are kind hearted. They are positive, and more or less the happy go lucky kind of people. Now if you look at the other side, that is the along the y axis, on the left hand side you see introvert, passive, reserved. So these are people, again, the blue and the green. They are they don't talk much. They are quite reserved. They have a very definite personality of, oh my god, don't take panga with me, kind of a thing. So they are quite introvert. They talk less. They are focused on what they want to do with minimum interaction in change or in people and so on. But if you come to the right hand side, the red and the inspiring, they are the extrovert people. They always would like to make their point very clear. This is what it is. This is how they are active, in fact, hyperactive many of the times. But they also believe in getting things done, getting work done, and so on. So they can't survive in isolation. They are the action-oriented people, active people, and implementers. Okay. Now, with this basic structure, I'll go to the next slide. This is again on the right-hand panel. All the traits of red, yellow, green, and blue are presented there. And very broadly speaking, if you talk about the four colors, reds are mostly the control freaks, the leaders that you come across. Now, I was talking about the story of this entrepreneur interview. He was the red character, mostly the red character, control freak, result oriented, performance driven. But not everybody is that type. So when a person from, say, green, see here, a person from green is walking along with a red, it's a disaster. Because the greens are the loving, the caring, and the kind, and the loyal hearted people with no objective of result oriented approach to life. And now, if they have to work with the red, it is not easy. It is not easy. So the red will feel that I am working with a bunch of idiots, and the green will feel that the red is an idiot. Okay, so this is the problem that we see. We don't understand the different personalities that are there around us. Similarly, if you talk about the yellows and the blues, yellows are creative, social. They are the easygoing people, full of vitality, and they always seek for attention and so on. Whereas the blues are very, very level-headed. They are calm, they are perfectionist, they take their time to get things done. They always reflect on thoughts, very, very methodical and so on. So same way, the yellows and the blues don't get along. It is difficult. What complicates things more is the later part of the slide that you see there. No person can be totally attributed as a red or a yellow or a green or a blue. Now, your core character may be red, but over a period of time, remember the slide that I showed you, this one, you derive from your environment certain behavior, certain approaches, certain attitudes to life, and then you develop something called a moderated behavior, the fourth one. So we all have this moderated behavior, and if you are principally red, you will also try to acquire a few traits from yellow, green, or blue. And that is how most individuals, 85% of people, are a combination of two colors, not one color. But then again, there are very, very few people, like 5% of them, who are totally one color dominant and doesn't really portray other traits at all. 10% of them have even three colors, not just two colors, even three colors. But they are very few. They are mostly the adaptive people. Now, interestingly, when you are talking to people, as I was sharing with you, spiritual communication is not just what we talk, the way we behave, but it is also about listening and reacting to people. So listening and reacting to people is a very, very important part of communication. Now, listening and reacting also applies for divine when you are connecting to your higher self. The whole problem with matching of vibration, what we were discussing in the previous session, is because we are not able to listen to the messages that come from the divine. Well, that is more difficult than face to face when we are talking to people. We are mostly poor listeners. But listening is not only about hearing what the other person says. It is about analyzing the behavior of the person, what kind of a person he is or she is. What kind of an approach should I have towards A compared to B? Now, if A is a yellow and B is a red, I cannot have the same approach to both of them. I need to change my approach. But we don't do it that way. We focus on who I am. I behave this way, take it or leave it. So giving the other person importance, analyzing the kind of person he or she is, and then striking a conversation can lead to more success than just focusing on what we want to communicate to the other person. So this is something that I thought is very important. Giving room to the other person, thinking about the other person, putting yourself in the other person's shoes, and to understand what kind of a person he or she is. And then when we communicate, then when we listen to the person, you will see a way different approach, and you are a different individual altogether, because now you are more compassionate, you are more forgiving, or more tolerant, if I may say so. Few things which are also very important when we talk, which is taught in most communication courses and so on, is the posture that we take, the way we talk and so on. So that is very important. How we are listening to people. Are we really interested to hear? Are we really interested to implement what the person is trying to talk about? Gazing, when we talk to somebody, where are our eyes? If our eyes are flickering here and there, moving here and there, it clearly shows that, oh my God, you keep on talking, but I'm not interested in hearing. Now, nodding head, I have seen a lot of people who are the buttery type of people, they keep on nodding head uselessly. So too much of nodding is useless, doesn't mean anything. In between, whenever you understand really something very, very deep, you nod your head and you express your alignment with the person, makes a lot of sense. Then again, handshakes. How do you shake hand with a person? Many times I've seen, I mean, when you say shake your hand, I'm talking from the male perspective. When I shake hands with a man, it's a very tight grip. I can't use that kind of a tight grip with women. So you need to be sensitive when you're shaking hands. Then again, the perceptions that you build when you shake hands with a man shaking hand with a man, you can shake hand and also put the other hand to show that, okay, it shows that we are really together. But that does not go well with a woman. She might take it in a different way. भाई एक हाथ काफी था, दूसरा हाथ कहां से लाया तुमने? ये जरूरत ही क्या था? I was just trying to touch. So you have to keep all these things in mind. You may not have a bad intention, but if you are shaking hands to a lady first time, using both the hands this way is not right. Then when we talk, how close should we stand? I've seen people when I'm talking and they are unable to hear, and if I come close, they move further. It has happened with me. So then I have to speak louder because the person wants a distance. And then speech type. Especially when we are talking to foreigners, especially Europeans. Like Indians, for Europeans also, English is not their mother tongue. For Indians, English has become kind of a mother tongue. But for Europeans, it is not. They don't want to talk in English. They want to talk in their mother tongue. But when you are talking, you don't know their mother tongue. So you have to talk in English. So when you talk in English with them, you have to make sure that each and every word that you utter is distinct and slow. They can't understand if you speak so fast. They take longer time to assimilate what you're talking. And many of us as Indians, we have our, this accent. And many times, when the way we talk in Hindi or our mother tongue, we connect one word with the other and speak. So if the words are not distinct, separated from each other, people who are listening will not even understand what you're saying. So these are all these all things will come to you very, very naturally with only one principle, and that is keeping the other person in your mind all the time. If you place the people who are listening to you at a higher pedestal than yourself, all of these things are very easy to implement. But if you think that I'm the king of the jungle, and I'll do the way I want, I will speak the way I want, then nothing is going to happen. And believe me, I have heard a lot of people talking, including very, very high profile people in India and abroad. People who make a difference, they always speak keeping the listener in perspective. They don't talk for their own satisfaction. They talk for the satisfaction of the listener, not for themselves. So spiritual communication connects with all of these. You may feel that, oh, this is so material, this is so earthly discussion. No, it is not. Because day in and day out, we are talking to people. We are communicating with people around us. That is a very, very important component of spirituality. How we come across as a human being, what kind of vibrations do we percolate when we talk to people? If there's a right resonance, if there's a right vibration, if there's a right communication that goes to people, automatically your energy will glow. People will get induced or touched with your glow, with your energy. How does a child communicate with the mother? The picture that you see there, the child doesn't speak, but it communicates so well. The mother always understands what the child wants to say. The mother doesn't wait for the child to start speaking. Boss, I can't understand anything that you're saying. You grow up, you become 5 years of age, start speaking, and then I'll talk to you. Have you ever heard a mother saying that? No. Why? Because the mother sacrifices her thoughts and enters into the mind of the child. Very keen to know what the child wants to say, what the child wants to communicate, not say. So, for the red kind of people, um, we always need to focus on, boss, don't rush, stay calm, stay focused, focus on ethics. So when we talk to the red, we have to make them feel that heaven is not falling tomorrow. No rush. For the yellow, they are the talkative guy, very enthusiastic. They love jokes. So for them, you need to bring them back to the mudda, to the point of discussion. They will get diverted to the larger picture on several other things. They are the people full of vitality. They talk well. They are very easy to, they can impress. They can become good marketing guys. But you have to bring them back to the point of discussion. Green people are really the good people. They are loyal, they are reliable, they are also very helpful and kind-hearted people. But that doesn't always make business. If you have to deal with a green person, you will get easily drawn towards it. But that doesn't mean that work is done. So again, you have to bring some of the red qualities in the green. They have to take the initiation. They have to bring the speed in delivering. They have to be good decision makers also, which they lack. They are very thoughtful, but they are not good decision makers. And blue people, often because they are kind of perfectionists, they forget the timeline. So then you have to bring, yes, it is okay, it is very good to deliver something in the perfect way, but then we have limitations in time. How can we complete whatever best is possible within this time frame? That is where you have to bring the blue person there. So all these things together forms human beings all around us. So the challenging characters, which I discussed earlier, also analytical with inspiring is a challenging character, challenging combination, and green and red are also challenging combination. So you really need to be very, very proactive. If yourself you are a green and you're dealing with a red, if your boss is red and you're dealing and you yourself you're green, that you will say, my God, I am just not able to work with this boss. He's so dominating. He's so this, he's so that, but that is his nature. So at the end, it is all about communication. And if we are able to use all these traits very effectively, then we can become excellent communicators. So, sorry. So that's kind of end of the session. Thank you for being with me. If you have any questions, you can ask.
I really enjoyed. Very nice.
Thank you.
Very
Thank you very much.
Very nice.
I thought
Learned a
that,
lot. Thank you.
thank
Thank you
you.
so much. Learned a
Neelam,
lot.
you are yourself a trainer in communication.
No,
So
no, 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 no. I learned so much from you. Thank you so much. You're such an enlightened soul. My goodness.
thank you. Thank you so much. So I just thought that, I mean, every day we have all highly spiritual discussions and all of that, but many times we forget that, 80% of our time we actually are very much the, within quote unquote, the lesser mortals. So any question, anybody?
Debashish,
Yes, Anju.
I missed the first part. I mean, like beginning of your thing, speech. But I was just wondering, like, this seems to be about personality and communication and all that. But what has it got to do with soul communication? That is a topic, right? Your
No, that was not the topic. Spiritual communication was the topic.
spiritual communication. Yeah.
Soul communication was not the topic.
Okay. Spiritual
Yeah.
communication. This
Yes.
falls into that category.
So it was, that is how I started. I said that there are two forms of communication. One is communicating with the divine, with your higher self. And the second is communicating with your immediate environment. And
Mhm.
much of your development or nourishment as a spiritual being depends a lot on how you communicate around yourself with people all the time, day to day basis.
Acha.
So the previous day I discussed about connecting with your higher self, the meditation and how you can do it, connecting with the spirits and so on. And today I wanted to discuss on the ground realities of interacting with the people around you and what you need to keep in mind.
Right. But once you are, aligned with the divine, then you automatically also, end up being a compassionate, empathetic human being with others as well.
Not necessary. So most people, most of us often put ourselves in airtight compartments. The way we communicate with divine, we forget it. And when we are in the real world with real challenges, we behave in a very different manner. So we don't have a single identity. We change our hats many times.
Hmm. But if we start behaving differently with others, then automatically we are out of alignment. Again, we, with
Yes,
the
but it takes time for you to even realize that am I treating each and every human being as a divine entity? We don't. So do I treat the doodh wala, the kirana wala, or forget about all that. Even when we are on the roads and we are driving and a bike comes just in front of us and starts abusing, do we also treat that person as a divine entity? We don't most of the time, and we get irritated, we get angry, we sometimes within our mind we become abusive. And these are all very normal. We are all human beings. We have all the traits, we have all the emotions in our mind. And even in the map of consciousness, we saw that it is so easy to glide down and enter into the negative emotions level, which is very natural. I mean, anger is a very normal human trait, human emotion. So we are all into that. Nobody can say that I never get angry.
true.
See, even in olden days, if you see, even God used to get angry. So
Yeah, yeah,
these are
yeah.
the natural traits of this thing that
Correct.
when you are angry, it is a natural trait. So how does it reveal that communication with your topic was with spirituality? Because these are when you are coming as a human body, definitely you will show your responses with the outside world. If you walk, something pricks you, obviously you will get down and take out that thorn out of your feet.
Yes,
It's
yes,
like that.
yes,
So
yes, yes, yes.
how is it related to the communication with spirituality, as you said? Because
Yes,
when you are in a spiritual mood, you generally, if you're living in a big family or living with a lot of people in the house, you will like to go to a temple, or in your house there is one corner where nobody will disturb you, then you get connected. But when you are in the open in your house with everybody, you're cooking, or somebody's coming and irritating you, some servant comes and doesn't listen to you, so you are actually in your sense. But suppose somebody irritates you, then you throw your responses to that person. No, you understand? Like if I'm cooking,
right,
my
right,
mind
right.
is
Absolutely, absolutely.
highly elevated at that time. When I'm cooking, I'll be singing a bhajan, or maybe my mind is somewhere in a very different mood. But suppose somebody doesn't listen to me that time and irritates me, straight away from that level to I will come down to the stoop down to the lowest level.
Yes, Ruchira, very, very natural. And if somebody says that I have never experienced this, I would find it very difficult to believe that, frankly speaking. And all of us go through it. So the
No, we
best way
do
to do
feel,
it is,
because in
yes,
Bhagavatam, I read Bhagavatam, so that's why I know. I am trying my level best to see God in every person. Like even in Reiki and Pranic, they say Atma Namaste. They are not telling to your body.
yes,
Atma
correct,
means the soul
correct,
inside you. We
correct,
are doing
correct,
Namaste to you.
correct,
So
correct,
that
correct,
is the way. Or
correct.
Om Hari Hari Om. Hari Om means like what is there in your soul, we say, we don't say, oh, hi, hello, nowadays, because somewhere you have to bring that change, you have to bring that awareness. But you say in one moment, Hari Om, and next moment, that person comes and says, after learning all this, in fact, all the servants and all the people in my house, if they come and see me in the morning, they will say Ram Ram. I've told them, every day you come, you are not saying Ram Ram to my body, you're saying Ram Ram to my Atma. This is what I've explained to all my servants. So they all come and, do Namaste and Ram Ram. Previously, they never used to do. This is what I've taught them, that this is what you have to greet yourself. Because if you start the day with that, then automatically that thing will come. Yes, this is also a godly soul. Even I will
Yes.
not get irritated, even that person will not get irritated.
Yes, yes, right. So the answer to your question, Ruchira, and I have learned this from Master Shah, Jigong Shah, is as a human being, whenever you are angry or you enter into any of your negative emotion domain and express your anger or irritation or something to somebody, yes, you do it and it is done. But after it is done, you can always just close your eyes for 10 seconds and just pray. Pray to the soul of that person. Dear the soul of Ruchira, I really don't know under what circumstances you said this or you did this. I'm sure you might have your own reasons why you did this. I am not aware of this. Please forgive me if I have hurt you, harmed you in any way, because I am not aware of what circumstances you're going through. Please forgive me. Please pardon me. Just say this two
Yeah,
times or
yeah.
three
I
times.
do say
That's
this is
over.
this.
That's over.
It's,
And
it
you are
gets
forgiven.
negated, negative, but that
Yes.
thing gets cancels, no? Yeah,
Yes.
I do
Yes.
that. I do
Immediate.
that.
That's all. That's all. So don't worry about not having anger, not having irritation. It all is there with us. But realizing it as a mistake and immediately asking for forgiveness is fine. So just touch the soul of the person and say, I really don't know under what circumstances you said and I said, but whatever it is, I ask unconditional forgiveness from your soul. Please forgive me.
Uh,
And that's
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. Correct,
That's
correct,
all.
correct. Yeah,
That's all.
yeah. So
Yeah.
the idea is that everybody is a divine soul. So
Yeah.
nobody is less than you, nobody is more than you. We are all divine. That the idea
Correct.
is that.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. 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 Correct.
Yeah, yeah.
There is one query from me also.
Yes.
Like maybe it's a foolish question, but still I want to ask
Ushaji, only answers can be foolish.
because you said ki everybody should be taken as a divine soul. Like why not? What is the difference if I am taking you as a Malik, Devasis Malik, and divine Malik? I think there is no need. As it is, we should accept Devasis. Why saying divine? What is divine? Divine is you
So
are divine.
no, it is
Why particularly divine?
yeah. So it is the word divine doesn't mean God here. The word divine here means that everybody has an element of divinity in their soul. So that is what it means. So it only means that the person whom you're talking to is not is also having some kind of a you know goodness. Okay,
I have an
so
answer to this also, Ushaji. I'll
Yeah,
explain to you.
please carry on.
This is, see, when you're saying, ki, why not Devashi's divine?
Hmm.
The name Devashis or your name Usha is
Hmm.
going to be left behind. See, the body is taken. Once the person is no more, we don't say, oh, take this so and so to the burning heart. We'll say, take the body to the burning. The name goes straight away after the soul goes out of the body.
Hmm.
It becomes only a body.
Hmm.
So only the soul, which is the divine, because we have not seen it, but it is a divine thing, because we all know there is Atma, which is from the Paramatma. That
Hmm.
is the meaning. So that's why we say from the divine soul. And why not, as you said, why not to the name has nothing. Name is only once you come in this world, a name is given to this as an identity. An identity is after some time, when you are no more, that identity goes away. If you've done a good thing, people will remember you. That is another different thing. But the moment the person is no more and it's only a dead body, Nobody tells that, oh, pick up this person and put it there. Nobody will take that name of that person. They'll just pick up the body and put it there. You understand? That is the difference between the person from the soul and from the bodily name we have given.
And if you
But
notice,
see,
Usha ji, when I told you this very short prayer, I mentioned the dear the soul of Ruchira. I did not say Ruchira. Dear the soul of Ruchira. That's what I said. So when you talk also, when you are asking for a short forgiveness, it is the soul of the person. It's not the physical person that we are talking to. So divinity lies in the soul, not the physical structure.
soul, we have given the name, but what we are. I am Usha, I'm behaving as a Usha. You are Malik,
Yes,
you are behaving as a Malik.
yes. This
In
is
behavior
like a
level and
long conversation, but your soul is now in your body right now, but your soul is uh, has been there across lifetimes. Maybe you have taken some 300 births before this, and you will take another X number of births after this. So the soul is indestructible, and it has always moved to one stage to another, developing itself. So right now the soul is in you. So I'm saying, dear the soul of Usha.
no,
But after this life, you will take another life where you may become Uma. So then I'll say, dear the soul of Uma, because now
that's
you are the owner of the soul. The soul has rented your body.
Malik, that's okay. Soul, you are talking, I am talking, that's soul talking. But okay, without soul, we are nothing. We are dead, right? But I mean, why to tell all the time divine, 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 divine? I mean, like, हाँ चाय पियोगे? Yes, पियेंगे. ठीक है. अब इसमें divinity कहाँ divine हम कहते हैं कि
That is itself. So, dear, the goodness in the soul of Usha also, you say, I mean, you don't need to use the word divine also. It actually portrays goodness. That's all.
yeah, वही तो मैं मतलब
हाँ, हाँ, I mean, don't go by these words so much.
right. Thank you.
It's about the
Deb,
goodness.
Debesis, Philomena here. Can I say
Yeah.
something? While
Yeah.
you're all talking about soul and that Usha is a soul, Kamina is a soul, and you are a soul.
Mhm.
But I think from my various experiences that I've had, our entire Philomena is not the original soul alone. There are so many other souls connected to us, may not be very good ones, may not be very bad ones, and so on. So, what would you say?
So here
About
we are
this?
talking about the original soul of Philomena, not
Yeah.
not the invasions that are there in the soul of Philomena in this physical form. We are not talking about that. We are talking about the indestructible soul of Philomena that has been across lifetimes. That is what we are talking about. The core, the original soul of Philomena.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all. Enjoyed
Yeah, that was
interacting with all of you.
very nice. This is as usual. Your topics are so good and you present it so beautifully. Lovely.
It's a long journey.
Yes, true.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, thank you,
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you very much. Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Take
sir.
care. I love you
Thank
all.
you.
Thank you very much.